Apologies for the technical difficulties, but we are back. We are live for the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. What did you miss? An RBI double off the bat of Zach Ediger to score Jack Johnson for Washington Northwest. And they have a 1-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. 1 out, 0-2 the count. And the pitch is called strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Tyson Willis. And that will bring up Carson Doy. Carson Doy getting the start at shortstop for Washington Metro East. And then halfway through this one in the 5th inning, he'll move over to second base. Called strike 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Tyson Willis. We head to the home half of the second inning. Washington Northwest with a 1-0 lead. Welcome back to Harry and David Field, the home of the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. You're watching the class of 2021, Washington Northwest in red versus Washington Metro East in gray. See the score on the lower third on the screen. An RBI double by Zach Ediger, plating Jack Johnson back in the first inning, the lone run in this game. Home half of the second, Aiden Van Rensum, Cole Williams, and Chandler Lindstrom, the 3-2 up for Washington Northwest. In case you missed it, James Boone on the mound for Metro East, being caught by Cam Ferrari. Jason Henderson at first, Sheehan O'Connor at second. Carson Doy at shortstop. Austin Popoff is at third. Jared Johnson is in left, Colin Curry in center, and Braden Terry is in right. The current defensive lineup for Washington Metro East. Boone kicks and fires. And he earns himself a walk. So Van Renssum aboard to start the home half of the second inning, and that will bring up Cole Williams. Williams will catch the first 3 innings of this game and then sit on the dugout for the defensive innings. A half check swing, makes contact with the ball and fouls it off for strike 1. Ground ball foul down the third base line. A leadoff walk for Aiden Van Renssum, and now a full count to Cole Williams. In the air to center field. Jared Johnson is there for out number 1. And that will bring up Chandler Lindstrom. Lindstrom got the first 2 innings off defensively, but will take over in center field for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And that pitch called, strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for James Boone. And so that will bring up Max Alvarado, who will catch the final 4 innings of this contest. Oh, and a diving attempt by the third baseman, Gabe Villaflor. Nearly got it. Ball bounced right off his glove in foul territory. And that is strike 1. Ball gets away from the catcher, and Van Renssum will take second base on the wild pitch. Defensive alignment behind James Boone here in the bottom of the second. Austin Popoff is at third, as that pitch swung on and missed. That was Popoff who nearly had that spectacular grab down the left field line in foul territory. Carson Doy at short, Sheehan O'Connor at second, Jason Henderson at first, Cam Ferrari behind the plate, Jared Johnson in left, Colin Curry in center, Braden Terry in right, but don't get too comfortable. Changes are coming. Van Renssum walked to lead off this inning, took second on a wild pitch. Here's the 1-2 to Alvarado. Softly hit ground ball, charging is a shortstop Carson Doy, makes an accurate throw, and that retires the side. James Boone works around a leadoff walk. To the top of the third we go, 1-0 Washington Northwest. You're watching the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest.
I was talking to Bill.
Yeah?
Bill and Sherry got a guy.
They do? How did they get a guy?
Everything happened online, including financing. And their guy even delivered their new car to their home.
Maybe we should get a guy.
I thought you might say that. Honey, meet Kyle.
Find your guy during the Ram Power Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
Introducing Unlimited with Payback, only from U.S. Cellular. The only unlimited plan that pays you back for data you don't use. So, quit flushing money down the toilet with Verizon. Get Unlimited with Payback, and you can save up to $240 per year on a single line versus Verizon.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local U.S. Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
Welcome back to the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships, presented by Baseball Northwest.
Oh, they brought in the big dog.
A living legend in the press box here at Harry and David Field, the unofficial mayor of Medford, B.G. Gould, in the house. Director of Baseball Operations, official scorekeeper for the Medford Rogues, the local summer collegiate baseball team here in the Rogue Valley, and means just so much and more to this community. Happy to have him here in the press box. We're in the top of the third inning. Tyson Willis back on the mound for Washington Northwest.
He just missed his first pitch. He's back. Maybe not ready, but he's back.
Blake Whitman takes a healthy cut, fouls it back to even the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Whitman will not see the field defensively today, a true designated hitter in this matchup between Washington Metro East and Washington Northwest. An RBI double off the bat of Zach Ediger to score Jack Johnson back in the first inning, the lone tally in this game. That pitch fouled off, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 to Blake Whitman. Ground ball to the shortstop. Abe Afholter is there. Throw across the first in time for the first out. That will bring up Spencer Kazmarski. Kazmarski will take over in left field in the home half of this third inning before moving to center field in the fifth and finally to right field in the seventh. Chance to patrol every inch of the beautiful grass here at Harry and David Field. Some defensive changes behind Tyson Willis. Chandler Lindstrom takes over for Nathan Kane in center field. Everyone else remains the same. William Sell in left, Reeder Vane in right. Jack Johnson at first, Cole Kramer at second, Abe Afholter at shortstop. Aiden Van Renssum is at third. Cole Williams is catching the pitcher, Tyson Willis. Strikeout number 4 for Tyson Willis. It's the second out of the third inning. And that will bring up Jack Ray. Softly hit. The pitcher Willis picks it up. The throw to first is high and away. And so that will allow the first base runner of the day for Washington Metro East. Jack Ray is aboard on the air. Sheehan O'Connor is now at the dish for Washington Metro East. Gets the start today at second base. He'll move over to shortstop in the fifth. The runner takes off, and the pitch is fouled back.
Who played today already?
Let's see. Yeah, that's a good question. I think, that's 3 games so far.
Yeah.
Here today at this ballpark, We have already seen Oregon Metro versus Washington Metro. Idaho versus Washington East, as there's a drive into center field. Chandler Lindstrom coming on and makes the grab, and that will retire this side. No runs, no hits, a runner left on base. We head to the home half of the third inning. Washington Northwest on top of Washington Metro East, 1-0. You're watching the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest.
A parent, dad in the stands yelling at his kid, trying to coach him from the bleachers, and the embarrassment on the kid's face. It looked like he was about to cry while playing the game.
I think it's very embarrassing for a student athlete to see their parents being escorted out of the gym or off the playing field.
I'd be surprised if that kid comes back to the game.
And you risk a child enjoying the game, that you rob them of the fun. You have made a bad choice.
The days grow long, and the last school bell rings, calling you to pack a bag, grab the kids, and hit the road to that fabled land of green, where adventure drifts with you on the water and carries you through the trees. So let curiosity get the best of you and take the trail less traveled to Southern Oregon. Your journey begins when you travel Medford.
Welcome back to Harry and David Field, the home of the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. You're watching Washington Northwest take on Washington Metro East. We're in the bottom of the third inning. The lone hit in this game, an RBI double by Zach Ediger to score Jack Johnson for Washington Northwest back in the first inning. James Boone back on the mound for Washington Metro East. First pitch swinging. William Sell grounds out to Sheehan O'Connor at second base for the first out of the inning. Defensive changes for Washington for Washington Metro East here in the home half of the third inning. Gabe Villaflor takes over at third base. Spencer Kazmarski takes over in left. Jared Johnson takes over in center, and Colin Curry takes over in right. Here's Jacob Burkett. Burkett, at the conclusion of this inning, will toe the rubber for the final four of this one. Ball driven deep to left field. On his horse is Kazmarski, and he watches that ball land in foul territory over by the home bullpen. Boone induces a swing and a miss there. And the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cam Ferrari gives Boone the sign. A flare over the second baseman, Sheehan O'Connor's head into right field. And there's the second base hit of the game. And the second hit for Washington Northwest. So Burkett is aboard, and that will bring up Abe Affolter. Jacob Burkett is at first. Abe Affolter at the dish. Chopper up the middle, and the throw goes to nobody in particular. Miscommunication between Carson Doy and Sheehan O'Connor. Doy thought O'Connor was going to field the out at second. O'Connor thought Doy was going to take it himself. Said it's the second error of the game. First one charged to Washington Metro East, and now runners are at the corners. For the top of the order, Nathan Kane. This time they do go to second for one. On to first, not in time for the double play. And so on the air, another run crosses for Washington Northwest. A fielder's choice ground out for Nathan Kane. Now Jack Johnson, who scored the first run of this game back in the first inning. Has a chance to keep this rally going with 2 outs. The runner goes. Throw to second is in time. Cam Ferrari throws out the runner, Jack Johnson. Throws out Nathan Kane at second base to end the inning, but not before another run comes home. To the top of the fourth we go. Washington Northwest with a 2-0 lead. You're watching the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest on TableRockSports.net.
Don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
At My Circle K, we believe in keeping the integrity of your vehicle's paint. That's why you save 10 cents a gallon when you purchase a car wash. As rain falls, it collects pollutants and contaminants from the air. You want to do anything you can to protect your investments. At My Circle K, you can protect your paint and save at the pump. Now with every car wash purchase, you'll save 10 cents a gallon at the pumps. Find them, follow them, kick back with them. MyCircleK.com.
Tyson Willis still on the mound for Washington Northwest. He has 4 strikeouts through 3 innings. As Washington Northwest scrapped another run across, an RBI fielder's choice by Nathan Kane, scoring Jacob Burkett has doubled the lead. Washington Metro East up here in the top of the 4th. First pitch swinging fouling it back is Jared Johnson. Popped up, foul territory, left side. Making the basket catch is the third baseman, Aiden Van Renssum. So Jared Johnson is retired, and that will bring up Colin Curry. Check swing, no swing, says the home plate umpire. Colin Curry just barely able to get out of the way of that offering from Tyson Willis. It runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that misses high for ball 4. So a 1-out walk to Colin Curry will turn the lineup over for Washington Metro East and bring up Jackson Henderson. Defensive changes for Washington Metro East. We'll get those to you in the home half of the 4th. Pickoff throw to first. Diving back safely is Curry. For Washington Northwest, Zach Ediger over there at first base. Curry takes off. The pitch up and in, gets away from the catcher Cam Ferrari. And, Max Alvarado. And going all the way to third is Curry. Stolen base, wild pitch. Washington Metro East with their best opportunity to get a run across against Tyson Willis today. Runner on third. Still no hits recorded by Washington Metro East in this game.
sometimes they're good.
Conversation on the mound between pitcher Tyson Willis and catcher Max Alvarado. Runner at third base, that's Colin Curry, who walked, stole second, and then took third on a wild pitch, all in one play. Here's the payoff pitch to Jackson Henderson. Swing and a miss, strike three. The fifth strikeout of the game for Tyson Willis through 3 2/3. And that will bring up Gabe Villaflor. Colin Curry over there at third for Washington Metro East. Healthy cut by Gabe Villaflor. He comes up empty. And the runner's going to go home, and the ball was dropped by the catcher. Incredible play by Colin Curry. He steals home, and Washington Metro East gets a run on the board without recording a hit in this ballgame. The home plate umpire issuing some directions, I believe, towards the Washington Northwest bullpen. Or perhaps towards the batting cages. That ball hit very well and deep to left field. And it is foul. Gabe Villaflor just missed that one. And that is a called strike three, the sixth strikeout of the game for Tyson Willis, who has thrown 4 no-hit innings, but has allowed a run, a walk, a couple stolen bases, and a run scored for Colin Curry of Washington Metro East. They are on the board. The score is 2-1. We head to the home half of the 4th inning. You're watching the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. Welcome back. Home half of the fourth inning. You're watching the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. James Boone still on the mound for Washington Metro East, who scraped their first run across. Colin Curry walked, stole second, took third on a wild pitch, and then stole home while Washington Northwest was snoozing. Jack Johnson is at the dish for Washington Metro East. Takes a pitch high, and the count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that misses low for ball 4. A leadoff walk issued to Jack Johnson. And that will bring up Reeder Vane. Defensive changes for Washington Metro East here in the home half of the fourth inning. Spencer Kazmarski takes over in left. Jared Johnson moves over to center. Colin Curry, who has scored the lone run of the game for Metro East, moves over to right. And Gabe Villaflor is playing third base. Ground ball to Villaflor. And throw to second is in time to get the force. 1 on and 1 out for Zach Ediger, who has the lone RBI base hit in this game, an RBI double that scored Nathan Kane back in the first inning. Third punch out of the game for James Boone. 2 down and 1 on. That will bring up Cole Kramer. The runner takes off. Throw not in time. And a stolen base for Reeder Vane. Drop third strike. Throw to first in time. Fourth strikeout for James Boone. Third out of the inning. To the fifth we go. 2-1 Washington Northwest over Washington Metro East. You're watching the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. Welcome back to Harry and David Field, the home of the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. Top of the sixth inning, Jacob Burkett, the new pitcher on the mound for Washington Northwest. And he delivers a first pitch strike here in the top of the fifth. Braden Terry is at the dish. That pitch misses, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jacob Burkett picks up a strikeout, the first batter he faces, and that will bring up Austin Popov. One ball and 2 strikes, the count to Austin Popov. Popov started the game at third base and now will sit in the dugout for these remaining defensive innings. Pops straight up, and the catcher, Alvarado, able to track it and make the snag for out number 2. With 2 down and nobody on, Cam Ferrari will climb into the right-handed box. Ground ball to the second baseman, Abe Affolter. Throw to first is low and gets by the first baseman, Zach Ediger. We'll see what the official score rules that as. And that is going to be an error charged to Affolter. That ball's well struck to right field and over the head of Nathan Kane. That is the first hit of the day for Washington Metro East, and it is an RBI game-tying triple off the bat of Carson Doy. All knotted up at 2 here in the top of the 5th. Washington Northwest got a run in the first and third innings. Washington Metro East coming back with a run in the 4th and now the 5th. Blake Whitman at the dish, fouls the first pitch off. Fly ball to right field, collected by Nathan Kane, and that will retire the side, but not before an RBI triple by Carson Doy ties this game up at 2. To the home half of the 5th we go. You're watching the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. Welcome back to Harry and David Field, the home of the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. Home half of the 5th inning, knotted up at 2. New pitcher on the mound for Washington Metro East, Austin Popoff toes the rubber. Defensive changes around him. Jackson Henderson takes over at third. Carson Doy remains at short. Doy, remember, had that game-tying RBI triple in the top half of this inning. Sheehan O'Connor remains at second base. Gabe Villaflor moves over to first. Braden Terry takes over in left. Spencer Kazmarski moves over to center. And Jared Johnson is patrolling right field for Washington Metro East. Aiden Van Rensum is at the dish for Washington Northwest. Sends the ball high in the air, and it drops in between the second baseman and right fielder. Third hit of the day for Washington Northwest, a bloop single off the bat of Aiden Van Rensum, and that will bring up Cole Williams. And on the passed ball, Van Rensum will take second base. Cole Williams heading back to his home dugout just to change bats. Count remains 1-2. Runner on second. Nobody out in the home half of the fifth. Called strike three. Burkett with another strikeout. One down, and that will bring up Chandler Lindstrom. Back-to-back strikeouts by Burkett. And that will bring up Max Alvarado. That pitch gets by the catcher. And on the wild pitch, Aiden Van Renssum will take third. Chopper to the shortstop. Carson Doy from his back foot. And not in time, or the ball was dropped. An infield single by Max Alvarado brings home Aiden Van Renssum. And Washington Northwest back on top. William Sell at the plate now for Northwest. William Sell going the other way with that pitch. Runners now on first and second, and that will bring up Jacob Burkett. Burkett pitching for Washington Northwest. A chance to help his cause here with 2 on and 2 out. An RBI infield single by Max Alvarado. He's at second. And William Sell, a base hit the other way at first. That pitch nearly hit Burkett. Was able to get out of the way of that one. And the count moves to 2-1. Beautiful panoramic view of Harry and David Field. Pop up to the first baseman. Gabe Villaflor makes the grab to retire the side, but not before a run comes home. To the top of the 6th we go. Washington Northwest on top of Washington Metro East, 3-2. You're watching the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. Welcome back to Harry and David Field, the home of the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. Top of the 6th inning, Washington Metro East down a run and due up. Spencer Kazmarski, Jack Ray, and Sheehan O'Connor. Austin Popoff back on the mound for Washington Northwest. And the 6th inning is underway. Defensive changes behind Austin Popoff. Apologies, Jason Burkett on the mound for Washington Northwest. Both pitchers here in the later innings donning the number 6. So the new defensive alignment behind Jacob Burkett. At third base is Jack Johnson. At shortstop, Cole Kramer. At second, Abe Affolter. At first, Zach Ediger. Behind the plate is Max Alvarado. In the outfield, Chandler Lindstrom moves over to left. Reeder Vane to center, and Nathan Kane to right. That pitch fouled off. We'll do it again. Washington Metro East, 2 runs on 1 hit. An RBI triple off the bat of Carson Doy. Back in the 5th inning. Washington Metro East scored their first run of the game when Colin Curry walked in the 4th, stole second, and then took third on a wild pitch, and then stole home. And there you have it, 2 runs on 1 pitch, and that is strike 3. So 1 down, and that will bring up Jack Ray. Ray took the first 4 innings off defensively, and now the catcher for the final 3 innings for Metro East. Little jam shot, speared by the shortstop, Cole Kramer. And that is out number 2. Now Sheehan O'Connor, middle infielder, looks at strike 1. Started the day at second base, and then back in the 5th, moved over to shortstop. Ball hit well and over the center fielder, Reeder Vane's head. Reeder Vane gives it a huck, but jogging, standing up at third base is Sheehan O'Connor. Now a 2-out triple. An opportunity for Jared Johnson to tie this game back up. So both hits in this game for Washington Metro East have been triples. One off the bat of Carson Doyd, the other off Sheehan O'Connor. And a commentator's curse, that will be a base hit, a single, an RBI single at that for Jared Johnson. And we are all tied up at 3. Burkett comes set. Colin Curry, who walked back in the 4th inning, stole second, took third on a wild pitch, and then stole home as a pickoff throw to first gets by the first baseman, Zach Ediger. And it's going to allow Jared Johnson to move up to second base. Washington Metro East had scored their first run of the game without recording a hit or an RBI. And that changed in the 5th and have now put up consecutive runs in the last 4th, 5th, and now 6th innings. Johnson takes his lead from second. Here's Colin Curry. Up and in. Swing and a miss. The ball gets by the catcher, Alvarado. The throw to first is not going to be in time. So it is a strikeout, but the inning continues. Colin Curry aboard for the second time today. The lineup will turn over and bring up Jackson Henderson. And this time, strikeout will be recorded to end the inning. We head to the home half of the 6th, all tied at 3. You're watching the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. Welcome back to Harry and David Field. It's the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. Abe Affolter will get things started for Washington Northwest here in the bottom of the 6th, all tied at 3. Infield pop-up. The shortstop, Sheehan O'Connor, sendles under it and makes the grab for out number 1. That'll turn the lineup over for Washington Northwest and bring up Nathan Kane. Kane, an RBI fielder's choice back in the 3rd inning.
Hey, John, it's Beaky. Give me a buzz, coach.
And there's a strikeout recorded by Austin Popoff. 2 down in the home half of the 6th. And that will bring up Jack Johnson. And Jack Johnson earns himself a free pass. Keeps the inning alive and will bring up Reeder Vane. Deep to right field, and a diving catch. Jared Johnson makes the outfield grab, keeps this game tied. To the 7th inning we go, 3-3. You're watching the 2020 Northwest Championships. It's the 22nd annual, presented by Baseball Northwest. Welcome back to Harry and David Field. All tied at 3 here in the top of the 7th. Jacob Burkett back on the mound for Washington Northwest. Healthy cut by Gabe Villaflor, but he's behind 0-2. That ball will land foul out of play off the left field line. Count remains 3-2 in the top of the 7th. Gabe Villaflor, Braden Terry, and Austin Popoff, the 3 due up for Washington Metro East. Jacob Burkett still on the mound for Washington Northwest. And Villaflor earns himself a walk. Braden Terry started the game in right field, took a couple innings off in the 3rd and 4th, moved into left in the 5th and 6th, and will play center in the home half of the 7th. Hard hit, but foul down the left field line. Ground ball to the right side through the hole. And Washington Metro East has runners on 1st and 2nd with nobody out. Now Austin Popoff has a chance to pitch himself, or I should say put himself in a position to pitch for a victory. fouled back and out of play. Count remains 1-2. Villaflor at second, Braden Terry at first for Washington Metro East. And that pitch gets by the catcher, Max Alvarado, and will allow both runners to advance. Metro East didn't record a hit until the 5th inning of this game, but now find themselves in a position to jump out here in the final frame. Infielders are brought into the edge of the grass. 2-2 to Popoff. 3-2. No, now it's 3-2. And that is a big strikeout for Jacob Burkett. Gets Austin Popoff swinging, and that will bring up Cam Ferrari. A base hit the other way for Cam Ferrari. It's going to plate a run, and Washington Metro East with their first lead of the game. First pitch swinging, a well-hit ball by Carson Doy to left field. It's going to be deep enough to score Braden Terry. Well, Carson Doy with a pair of RBI in this game, a triple and now an RBI sac fly. And the score is now 5-3 Washington Metro. That pitch is hit the other way, and that's going to drop for a base hit and get by the right fielder, Nathan Kane. They're going to wave Cam Ferrari all the way around to score, as Blake Whitman has himself a stand-up triple. Score is now 6-3. And that'll bring up Spencer Kazmarski. After being shut out, no runs and no hits through the first 3 innings, Washington Metro has put up runs in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and now 7th innings. That pitch gets by the catcher Alvarado, but the runner Whitman will hold at third. And that is ball 4. So runners on the corners, still only 1 out. And now Jack Ray will climb into the box. And we're going to have a meeting on the mound first. You're watching the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. Jack Ray at the dish for Washington Metro East. Blake Whitman at third, Spencer Kazmarski at first. That ball hit the other way on a line. Nathan Kane will stand there and make the grab for the final out of the inning, but not before Washington Metro East puts up 3. We head to the home half of the 7th inning, 6-3. Washington Metro East. We'll be right back after this. Austin Popoff back on the mound in this bottom of the 7th inning for Washington Metro East. And they've got a 6-3 lead over Washington Northwest. One defensive change. Braden Terry moves from left to center. Spencer Kazmarski moves from center to right. And Colin Curry takes over in left field for the gray and black. Due up for Washington Northwest, Zach Ediger, who had an RBI double back in the first inning, Cole Kramer, and Aiden Van Rensom. Right fielder Spencer Kazmarski comes over and makes the grab for out number 1.
We have like a U-Haul trailer that we brought all of our stuff in. They got put into. It's over by Field 9. Yeah, they broke. So we had a little lock
Cole Kramer sends one deep to center field, but out there to make the grab is Braden Terry, and that is quickly out number 2. And so that'll bring up Aiden Van Renssum. Started the game at third base before being replaced back in the 6th inning. And that is a walk issued to Van Renssum. A runner on, that will bring up Cole Williams. Back pick to first, not in time. Boy, really close play over there. And the pitch missed, and so it's now 3-1. Van Renssum, he walked, is at first base. Cole Williams, the last hope for Washington Northwest. Austin Popoff induces a swing and miss, and now the count runs full. And dropped in, strike 3 called. That is your ball game. Washington Metro East comes back, pulls ahead in the 6th inning, courtesy of a 3-run 6th, and that, excuse me, a 3-run 7th, I should say, and that is your final. 6 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Washington Metro East. 3 runs on 5 hits, 3 errors for Washington Northwest. Stick around here on TableRockSports.net, bringing you coverage of all of the action here at Harry and David Field and across U.S. Cellular Field for the 22nd Annual Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. Next game should be kicking off in about half an hour. We'll see you then.